The reality is, inside the Falcons building, it is evident. Kirk Cousins physically is not what he was. He's just not.
You plays and throws during the game where you just go, I've never seen Kirk Cousins make a decision that bad.
I think I do need to play better. I don't think that's a mystery. I think the last few weeks, I would say, I need to play better, and it's stating the obvious.
I have had players inside that locker room tell me point blank, Michael Penix Jr. is the best quarterback in this building.
The Falcons giving a 36-year-old Kirk Cousins $180 million coming off a torn Achilles is probably the worst move that I think any organization made in the NFL, man. In doing that, the Falcons were so unsure of Kirk Cousins that how he will come back and respond during this injury as well, how able he'll play going to the next season coming off a significant injury as well, that they in the draft went to draft Michael Penix in the first round, which a lot of fans was very, very shocked at why they draft Michael Penix and sign Kirk Cousins in free agents, right? But now we look at Kirk Cousins. We see how Kirk Cousins is performing. He's been one of the worst quarterbacks in the league over the last few weeks. If you look at it from an efficiency basis, if you're looking at his turnovers as well, only having 1 touchdown, 9 interceptions as well. They have turned over the keys to the rookie quarterback and Michael Penix. What are the Atlanta Falcons are doing? Now, when we're looking at Kirk Cousins, it's quite obvious he wasn't playing good football, right? The decision-making and structure was just not there. The mobility, the pocket awareness was just not there whatsoever. He couldn't plant on his foot, which led to telegraph throws as well. He just didn't throw with anticipation. Terrible decision-making. Kirk Cousins was not doing good for the Atlanta Falcons. They were 1-4. He threw 1 touchdown, and he threw 9 interceptions. So they were not doing good. They were not trending in the right direction whatsoever. But this is the thing where I'm just questioning the Atlanta Falcons organization. It's like, why you give Kirk Cousins that money in the first place, knowing damn well that this man is just not healthy. And when you coming off Achilles injuries, there's very, very few players in sports that can come back and still play at the high level that they used to be. So giving Kirk Cousins a $180 million contract, $100 million guarantee, and if you decide to cut him, you're going to have $40 million next year in dead cap space as well. It's something stupid that I don't understand from Atlanta Falcons organization. Now, when we're looking at this season, they find themselves in the playoff hunt at 7-7. So it's a possibility that they can still win a division and get to the playoffs as well. Turn into a rookie quarterback in Michael Penix, who come from Washington as well, is something that I don't get. Usually when you have a rookie quarterback, usually you want that rookie quarterback to sit on the bench, learn for the veteran players, learn the system, learn how to master the game of processing as well, learning how to read defense at a high level, understanding the game, having experience, just learning, understanding the game for like a season or two, right? But the thing is that you're rushing that rookie quarterback in there when you're trying to fight for a playoff spot. It's something that I just don't understand as well. Like the way that Kirk Cousins has been playing, has he been playing good? No. But I do think that Kirk Cousins is more experienced than Michael Penix. I do think that Kirk Cousins give you a better ceiling to win, even when he's not playing good. Because at the end of the day, Kirk Cousins is a way better processor than Michael Penix. He's much more accurate. He reads defense much better at the stage of his career as well, right? Putting in the guy Michael Penix, which they say that Michael Penix is going to start against the Giants, he does not know the refinements of processing. He hasn't experienced what an offense is supposed to look like. You basically trying to experiment things, and we're at week 15 of the season with 3 games to go when your team is trying to get to the postseason. It's just something that I just don't understand as well. Like, yes, Kirk Cousins has been playing bad, but you're forced to play in Kirk Cousins because you gave him that big contract. You gave him a $180 million contract, $100 million guaranteed, so you have to stick with it, right? Starting Michael Penix late in the season as well is just not going to fix your problem. So it's basically just telling me that the Falcons basically tanked their season away, because it's not like in the Patriots situation where the Patriots at the end of the day, they don't have no playoff ceiling. They don't have no playoff hopes whatsoever. So yeah, they can put in a rookie quarterback in Drake May to get some reps, get some experience, to understand the defense, understand the coverages, understanding the refinements of processing as well. But the Falcons at the end of the day, they find themselves 7-7, right? They're not out of the NFC South running as well, right? And on top of that, they're not out of the playoff hunt. So I don't understand why you're just going to sit there and just give up your season and put in a rookie quarterback in Michael Penix, which Michael Penix at the end of the day hasn't experienced how coverages are in the NFL, hasn't fully understand the system and schemes yet. Yes, he's talented. He got arm as well. He can throw with anticipation. But at the end of the day, is he somewhat capable of processing high-level defenses the way that Kirk Cousins does, despite Kirk Cousins playing bad? I don't think so, and I don't know. The Falcons messed up in draft when they drafted Bijan Robinson, and they could have got Jalen Carter because they wanted the worst pass rush units in the NFL. They're not a good pass rush whatsoever, and that's the major issue with this team. Is that they're not a good pass rush. They got a good old line. They got playmakers on the outside as well. They got a great running game, one of the top running games in the league. But they one of the worst pass rushers in the league. So, yes, Kirk Cousins hasn't been playing good, and Kirk Cousins, to me, is at his end his days of his career as well. But the thing is that the Falcons got to look at themselves and sit there and say, why did I pay this guy $180 million? And you cannot move away from Kirk, because if you move away with Kirk, that's $40 million in the dead cap in 2025. And then the next year in 2026 to 2027, that's $20 million in the dead cap. It's an organization just don't have a sense of direction. They don't know where to go. Head coaches have been fired as well. It's just sad for the Atlanta Falcons. They're cursed. They haven't recovered ever since they blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. But those are my thoughts. I don't think that the Falcons made a good decision in starting Michael Penix. Even though how bad Kirk Cousins has played, you got to go through it. You got to stick with it. You paying this guy so much money as well. And I just think that they basically just threw away their season.